Hi, very good evening to all of you here. I used to tell aspiring restaurant owners that if you want to destroy the life of your enemy, the best is ask him to open a restaurant. And the other thing that I will say is, if you want to be a millionaire restaurateur, you start with $1 billion. Okay, I'm going to share a little bit about myself. I was caught up in the 60s, 70s, during the hippies culture. I guess a lot of you might not know, might not have gone through. How many have gone through that era, 60s, 70s, where not washing your jeans for 3 months is the in thing? Keeping long hair and you don't bathe. You know, and then during that time, the rock anthem was Smoke on the Water. Yeah, I was in that era, you know, and smoking grass is something like, it's very, very hip, you know, one group of friends smoking marijuana. So I was caught up in that era. So in my primary school days, early secondary school, I was experimenting with drugs, different kinds of drugs. So by the time I was 18, I was heavily hooked on heroin. So I spent more than 10 over years of my life in and out of prison. If I'm not in prison, I was in a rehab center. So what happened is in 1993, that was the year that I was my 5th time released from prison, 1993. So I told myself that I really have enough of that kind of life. You know, if I'm going inside prison, actually, my mom who is staying alone, she's inside the prison, which is the HDB flat. So I realized I have to do something, you know, I just want to live a normal life. To me, a normal life is to have a job and to be able to spend a little time with your family members. So that year when I was released, I went for 6 job interviews. Each time I was politely rejected. And then I realized then and there that in Singapore there is this lapse. Once you have a criminal record, you will never be able to get a normal job. Unless those jobs that nobody wants to work, like, you know, hawker center, cleaning the tables, that kind of job maybe you will get. So to get a job as a driver or as a kitchen helper is not easy. So that year I told myself, if one day I'm going to be a business owner, I never thought I was going to be a chef. I would want to hire this group of people. So as I look back now, actually I have hired quite a lot. So I fast forward a little bit. When I was a younger boy, I was a very inquisitive, you know, young lad. I would want to ask every question that I couldn't understand. That's actually what leads me to drugs. And during that time, you know, HDB flat is not like what it is now. You know, you don't even know your neighbor. During that time, all the doors are open. You run in and out of your neighbor's house. And I remember especially this Indian family. And she will be cooking curry every day, the lady of the house. And I will ask very in-depth question, you know. I said, Auntie, when you cook fish curry, you put this spice, fenugreek, you know, fennels, you know, all that kind of question. And but when you cook chicken curry, you put different kind of spice. I ask that kind of question. So after every session, I will go back home and ask my mother for some money, and I will buy certain same ingredients. I will whip up some dishes. Then and there I realized that I'm good at replicating dish, you know. So through my years of drugs, I've forgotten that actually I really can cook. In 1999, I was doing some volunteer work with a group of a disaster relief team. You remember that year there was a very big earthquake, and I was traveling with a group of doctors, nurses, you know, to Turkey. Actually, I went there 3 times during that period. And of course, their job is to heal those who are injured. my duty was to build a tent, build a kitchen, to cook for them. So after every meal, they will come and tell me, hey, Benny, your cooking is so good, why don't you think of starting some food business or something like that? My point is, sometimes you have a gift you don't know, or you don't realize. You need another party to come and tell you. So that actually sparked the idea, yeah, maybe I want to start some food business. 2005, I have the opportunity to start a food business with communities, with High Point Community Service, if you know, started a Chinese restaurant. Before that, I've never worked in any restaurant, F&B establishment. The only time I cook professionally is to cook for the superintendent and the warders while I was in prison. So I say, okay. So I wrote the menu, designed the kitchen, bought a chef uniform, and print the word executive chef. And then I believe that I can able to replicate any kind of dishes. So we did 10-course Chinese dinner. I will always tell myself that I'm a 自茶 chef. So it doesn't work very well because to run a restaurant is not that easy as you think. So somehow that was in 2005, and then one of my regular customers told me that, hey, Benny, do you know that there's this guy in UK also doing something like what you do, hiring a lot of restaurant offender. I said, I don't know, and his name is Jamie Oliver. So in my heart, I was thinking, who the hell is Jamie Oliver? I really don't, that night I Googled him, and I come to this portion where there's this 15 foundation. So there's a forum. The forum was manned by the CEO of 15, which is not Jamie Oliver, it's a Scottish guy called Liam Black. So everybody from all over the world were asking questions, recipes, the social enterprise 15, and So I was asking him, hi Liam, is it possible that I go over to UK and learn something from Jamie Oliver? He said, no way, it's only for the British. So the next thing I did was, every 2 days I would ask him the same question. They said, I already told you that it's not possible, it's only for the British. So the next thing I did was, every day I asked him the same question. I think he's really fed up of me. He said, okay, Benny, I will communicate with you through email. And I was given this opportunity to do an internship in UK, 15, and somehow when I came back from the internship, the whole Chinese restaurant didn't work out. And then that's how 18 Chef was born in 2007. This is the other side of me. Okay, this is how I actually marketed 18 Chef. You go to Bugis Junction, second floor, third floor, you will see this picture. So that's how, So in 2007, we started, I started 18 Chefs with a group of partners. And I remember our first outlet was at East Point Mall, Simei. Okay, so I remember that year was 2007, 689 square feet. And the first month we did about $20,000, which is very bad, very jalat. Okay, and then when people walk past my restaurant, you will say, hey, what is this restaurant all about? My service crew are all tattooed, so it's like all the abeng, So I remember when we were at Simei, in 8 to 9 months' time, the whole community accepted us. How do I know is, I remember one day a mother brought her daughter and a classmate to our restaurant, and the mother told me that, hey, Mr. Benny, my daughter is celebrating her birthday. And these are the classmates. Okay, whatever they eat, I pay. I know my daughter will be very safe in your restaurant. And then that's how we slowly expand our business from a 689 square feet. The first month was a pathetic $20,000 business. This is right now we have 6 outlets. 6 outlets. Each outlet average is more than 200 over K a month, each outlet. So we have another 2 franchise. We already started our franchise model. So by the end of this year, we will be targeting another 2 more new outlets coming up. I believe that if you are passionate enough to believe in something with your heart, with your mind, and with your soul, anything can happen. Yes, I will open this time for a Q&A session.
How do you work with the young people now, for example, those who are working with you and they were ex-offenders and ex-drug addicts and all that? So I guess from the educator standpoint, how do you help them?
Okay, I have grown a group of ex-offenders. Now they are my area chef, area managers, and some of them are actually in my team. I just give you a scenario where this young boy just came out from prison. He thinks he's the most terror guy, in the whole of Singapore. He got no choice, got to come to 18 Chef because he's tagging, electronically tag. He need to report to his officer, so he came and think he's very suspect. And then when he report to work, the supervisor is more terror than him. A normal supervisor will not tell him what to do. When he say, wow, this guy lucky power, no. I'm lobby 2 times, 36 stroke of the road time. No, that kind of respect they will respect. Look up to that kind of really. That's why it's easy for me to run the restaurant having ex-offender. I challenge you to try to handle them. It's a total different ball game. So that is our kind of system is like one life impact another life. I can't be at 8 outlets at one time. So I have grown up a group of management staff who are as terror as whatever young gangsters are. So that's how 18 Chef works. If I hire a group of professional managers, they will not be able to handle them. There's one point of time I have 40% of ex-offender working at 18 Chefs. Now it's 25. There was a big gang fight, on my outlet. No, I mean, if you are a restaurant owner, how are you going to handle such cases? So we realized that we cannot have more than 30%. Just what Jamie Oliver do, one professional chef taking charge of 1 delinquent, and then that's how they work. It's not how many beneficiary you have in your social enterprise to make you a good one. I don't believe in that.
I'd like to ask more about your experience in your internship at Jamie Oliver's. Like what lessons you could actually bring to Singapore that worked for your restaurant, and what lessons worked in US but doesn't work in Singapore. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, one lesson I've learned during my internship is at 15 is passion for food. Before I went to 15, I thought I was a very passionate guy, talking about cooking, I'm very passionate. So one day, I was assigned to the entree department. And the job of entree chef is to do the salad. So I thought it was an easy job. Jamie Oliver style, he will put rockets, EVO, sea salt, black pepper, and then some prosciutto, and then you mix and just, easy job, okay. So the first order was fired by the sous chef. 1 entree, okay. So I got a mixing bowl and put everything there, use hand and mix. So the sous chef shouted at me, "Barry, what are you trying to do? Do you know that these leaves have life? How can you use one hand and try to stir like this? You must stir them gently with both hands." Then I know what is passion for food. Yeah, it's a true story. I think what is a difference between, what I've learned at 15. 15 is the charity. Okay, so it depends a lot on donation. 18 Chef is a social enterprise. Do you know what is a social enterprise? Which a lot of people doesn't really have a clear idea what is a social enterprise. We are not charity, you know. Social enterprise is a business. And we are doing a business at the same time trying to solve some social issues in Singapore. So to me, the whole, my model and Jamie Oliver's model is totally different. We don't take donation, we don't raise funds, we need to do a good business. You know, if the business doesn't work, I'll be bankrupt. You know, I can't run, I can't help people. So I always believe that if you can't do a good business, that means you can't help yourself, you can't help anyone.
What else do you think the public can do to support the reintegration of ex-convicts into society?
Although we hire ex-offender, a lot of people will easily relate me to, oh, Benny is the yellow ribbon guy. Actually, I don't really work with yellow ribbon. So the irony, you see, when you walk into my restaurant, you don't see a yellow ribbon at all. Because I still believe that the yellow ribbon, at least to me, is still a stigma. You know, the whole idea of, hey, please come and eat at 18 Chef, you will support an ex-offender. I still find that it's not a good marketing strategy, you know. So if you come to 18 Chef because you want to support an ex-offender, I'll be a very sad businessman to do this business, really. I look at it this way, if you come to 18 Chef, you like the culture, you like the noise, you know, we'll be blasting Linkin Park the whole day, that kind of, you know, the kind of energy, you know, you like the food is affordable. I will be I think I'll be a better, happier businessman. I guess we have never really, you went into my restaurant, it's just another restaurant. We don't put prisoner telling people how good we are helping prisoners. We don't, you see. So we market 18 Chef just like a restaurant. So if I'm going to market and in another way to how, I think I will not be successful as what I am now. If you ask me this question 5 years ago, I would say that I would never, I don't think my generation will be ever see a day where there's so quick acceptance. But as I look around, I can see a lot of organization or restaurant are hiring. They have more opportunity to get a job.
You haven't talked a lot about food tonight, so I'm going to ask you two things. One is, what is the food that you really love to cook?
Okay.
What is the food that you really love to cook?
Okay.
And is there a chef that really inspires you?
Okay. I love to cook Indian food, and I can cook a very wicked, you call that saffron rice with your curry lamb shank. That's a kind of food that I love to cook, you know. And as I told you, I'm basically a zi-cha chef. Your chili crab, I'm good. I'm a hawker center person. I go for the mee bota and your char kway teow. Yeah. Yes. The The chef that inspired me most, okay. The British chef, Heston Grumental. And I don't do molecular gastronomy. I'm a big fan of that kind of cuisine. I never really believed that one day I can run a restaurant or running a chain restaurant. So I always believe that if you are passionate enough to believe in something, work on it and it can happen. It can happen. Yeah.
You done? Thank you very much, Benny. I like it that Benny is honest. He doesn't try to impress. He didn't come here to charm you with a fairy tale that he fabricates so that he makes you purposely very inspired, but he's honest. And I think he taught us one thing. Many of us want to be social entrepreneurs. And I think many potential aspiring social entrepreneurs should know that you've got to run your business first. Make the money, sustain it, and then, or at the same time, then look at the social bottom line. In fact, I was told that social enterprises are the hardest to run because they have two bottom lines. One is the financial bottom line, and one is the social bottom line. So that's actually one of the most difficult businesses to run because of that. And so I just want to thank Benny for sharing with us his secrets. So I also believe that every one of our experience is not in vain. The fact that in the first part of his life, he was in prison and he went through what he went through, that's what made him suitable actually, because he could understand the target group that he tries to help as he grows his business. So I think all that we experience is not in vain, and I just really want to thank you for being so honest tonight, and round of applause for him. Jack.
Thank you.
Se Teo.
Thank you.